I'm a feminist, but... Hello, Melbourne! Hello, Melbourne. Welcome to Hamer Hall, and I'm a feminist, but... If tonight, here in Melbourne, I went back to my hotel and just sort of thought, I'll just have a drink in the bar, and everyone else had gone to bed, and I was just sitting there having a cocktail, thinking about how great the show was, and then I just looked over into the corner and I saw Jacob Elordi. He was just having a drink too, and I caught his eye, and I was like, is that Jacob Elordi? And he looked at me and he smiled, and then he got up to get another drink, and while he was at the bar, he just went, and I went, are you Jacob Elordi? He was like, yeah, I'm Jacob Elordi. And then he went, I feel like I might know, my friend listens to your podcast. Are you the Guilty Feminist? And I went, yeah, I am. Oh my God, I can't believe you know who I am. Yeah. And then I said, I really enjoyed Saltburn. Thought it was a really interesting satire of the upper classes, and had some nuance in, although I did find some of it problematic in places. And I really... Yeah, and he went, oh, that's so funny. And then just as he's about to order the drink, the next drink, they said, actually, we've shut the bar now, sir. And he went, I can't get any drinks. So we said, well, if you stay in the hotel, of course, you can get a drink in your room. And he said to me, do you want to have a drink? Because I was going to have a drink. Yeah, I was going to have a drink. I'll come up to your room. And then when we got up there, he said, do you have a jacuzzi in your room? It's amazing here. And I said, no, I don't have a jacuzzi in my room. No, obviously my room's on a lower floor. It doesn't have a jacuzzi. I'm not Jacob Elordi. And then he went, do you fancy one? I haven't had a chance yet because I've been working. I haven't had a chance. I don't have a swimsuit. And he went, that's fine. That's fine. And then we both got in the jacuzzi, and we had this beautiful view of Melbourne. And then we sort of started talking, and he got a bit closer, and he just, gave me a little kiss, and then there was a little moment, and I went, so, your friend listens to the Guilty Feminist, you don't listen to it? And he went, I'm not a feminist. I'd pretend I didn't hear. Just didn't hear it, just keep going, push through. What I heard was, I am a feminist, but I just haven't got around to it.
I'm a feminist, but... Hello. When I found out about a real product called Girly Glue, I don't know if you know this, Girly Glue, just give you a second to guess in your minds. It is actually a glue that you can use to stick bows onto your newborn's head.
No!
Non-toxic, but still, when I found out about Girly Glue for sticking bows onto your tiny baby's head, I was appalled and horrified. But then I did think, well, it's your baby, you can decorate it how you want.
Was this around the time when you had a newborn, and were you tempted?
Absolutely not. Same with headband. No hair, no headband. No. No. Sticking, gluing stuff, thank you.
As long as you've...
But isn't it gross? But here's the line. How's this? It's a real product. I don't know why my algorithm gave it to me. I was like, absolutely not. You can also stick them on dogs, which I'm fine with. I'm totally fine with gluing bows on a dog. That'd be so cute.
I'm a feminist, but... Recently, I had some building work done in my house, and the builder phoned me up and said, hello, is that Mrs. Petrie? Should I talk to your husband about the bill? And I thought, how dare you, right? It is 2024. What a sexist assumption. I live with a female partner, and actually, we deal with all of our financial decisions with complete equity. But what I said was, yeah, try again when he's come back later.
It's a great get-out-of-jail-free card. We've all done it. Yes, my husband deals with all of that.
Look, I am a feminist, but... I have never told this story before. In 1983, when I was living in a radical lesbian separatist house...
The way all good stories start.
We ain't in Kansas anymore. My friends and I raided the cupboard so that we were members of the feminist urban guerrilla movement. We were the founding members. We were the founding and only members, actually. And the store cupboard that kept all of the, necessary equipment for urban guerrilla movement stuff was actually a cupboard in the house. And the pressure of lesbian separatism. So we got really pissed one night and we raided the feminist urban guerrilla movement cupboard, stole the spray paint and went to the front of the house and graffitied misogynist graffiti on the front of the lesbian separatist house.
I mean, we've got to ask. Do you remember what...
Oh, fuck yes, I remember. You're kidding. I've never told this story because I'm like, I've just, I don't know if I'd survive it. But they're really, like...
Was this a false flag attack?
No.
Was it to make it look like the patriarchy had done a drive-by?
It was a cry for help. I'm not going to tell you what we spray painted until I've given you a lot more context, if that's all right.
Do you want to do it in that now, when the interview?
In the interview.
In the interview.
Leave them
This
hanging.
is the very first I'm a feminist but with a to be continued we've ever had. Listen, if anyone was thinking, oh, we'll leave after the interval, that's killed it for you. This is now a binge watch. I'm a feminist but in the fantasy I make Jacob Elordi do the Saltburn accent. Just for a while. Look, we're in the jacuzzi. What are you expecting? I don't drink the water. Fuck. Just much. I'm kidding. Or am I? Don't kink shame me. I don't drink the water. Grace, can you please say something?
Is it me?
Celia, it's Celia.
It's me.
Yeah. Celia.
I wanted to see where that was going.
We all wanted to see where it was going, and no one more than me.
I'm a feminist, but when I was pregnant, I'm not proud of this, I found myself really disliking a lot of the women who made podcasts and videos about being pregnant and giving birth. Mainly because, I don't know why, but most of them spoke like this. Hey, Mama.
Oh, God.
Your baby is the size of a pine cone. And right now it's using your insides like a jungle gym. Uh-oh, you're making fingernails. Good job, Mama. Yuck!
That's so valid.
I don't know why. Has anyone been through this? Why? Hey, Mama, I'm not the baby. What are you doing?
Someone in the audience is wanting to interject to say, it's so true. That's so true. Such a guilty feminist heckle. It's so true. What you're saying is valid. What you're saying is very valid.
I support you.
I support you.
Other accepted heckles are here if you need.
I was just going to say, it's a bit Sharon Strzelecki. If you need. Actually, Deborah, I was going to offer later, if you'd like, I will also, just as a little throw-in, do a bit of Irish dancing.
Oh, yes, please. Why not?
We can all do it together. Thank you.
Grace also does Irish dancing, so you can be lesbian Irish dancing bookends.
It's what the world has been waiting for.
I was meant to have a friend of mine was coming in tonight to do photographs and they cancelled at the last minute. So if anybody, I'm not telling everyone, I don't want everyone filming everything, but has anyone got a good camera or their phone's really good? Because I just don't want to... Are you good?
Good.
Are you
because
good?
My Irish boyfriend will murder me if I don't give him a video to send to his family.
Yeah. So
to be furious at me, thank you.
And maybe we could have someone up there, someone who's good. And I do you know what? I love that this woman just went, yeah, I'm really good. Because that's what a man would say, even if he was bad. And actually, especially if he was bad. Have you got one too? Okay. And then say we will one person decide between yourselves, the circle, who gets nominated. Okay? But throughout the evening, if anybody does think, I'd really like to take a picture of this, but not everybody. That's why I'm trying to nominate somebody, and now everybody's doing it. So, can we have some nominees?
I feel like it. What's your name? Anita.
Anita's our official photographer. And then someone from up there. And if anyone else... Yes, you're really good, are you? You're a proper photographer. What's your name? Zoe. Zoe and Anita and one person up there is allowed to do photos, and then you have to give them to me. But,
Anita has...
discreet things that my friend would have done if they'd come.
Don't you think Anita has very strong head girl energy?
Yes. Class captains for the win. Whenever I go to Canberra and we play the Canberra Theatre there, it's just a whole audience full of school captains. So funny. So funny. Vice captain sitting up the front thinking it should have been me. You know, it's the whole fucking audience. But listen, if you can do it discreetly, and don't want the whole audience photographing everything all the time. It'll just turn into, you know, a whole nightmare. But if you're good and you take some photos this evening, and then you've got to get them to me. That's key. Don't just leave with them. Who's next? This is not how it normally goes. I'm a feminist, but I have literally stood here and asked for unpaid labour from people who have paid to see me. They didn't ask for a job. They're not my friend. I was paying my friend to do it, and now you're just doing it for free. Listen, I'll pay you for the photos, okay? Just the people I've nominated, not just anybody. But if anyone wants to send... Anyway, Grace.
Deb.
Yeah.
I am a feminist, but when I listened to the new Taylor Swift album, which comprises 17 more songs about breakups, I did think to myself, you know what, babe? Maybe it is you.
Are we ready to start the show? Then welcome to the Guilty Feminists. Please give it up for Grace Petrie, Celia Pacquola, Magda Sabansky, some incredible feminists that you will be seeing a lot more of this evening, Melbourne. Plus our very special guests. Melbourne, it's the Guilty Feminist. We're back. Now, normally I would do some kind of monologue here, some crowd work, but you're going to get something now that no other show on this tour, no other city has had or will have. It's a whole extra piece. You think you're special, Melbourne, and it turns out you are. This is you. I know you think you are, and all the other cities think you're special, and this is why. This is your reputation. Oh, Melbourne's got to have it first. Oh, Melbourne's got to have this. Melbourne's got to have it. This is why you're spoilt. But I can't do anything about that. I didn't make the rules. Our first guest of two in this section is an award-winning writer, musician, and disability advocate. She has performed at Sydney Opera House, Melbourne Recital Centre, and across the United Kingdom. She is the writer of We've Got This, Essays by Disabled Parents, and children's book, Come Over to My House, and is passionate about disability representation. And she was on the last time we played Hamer Hall, she was our guest in the second half. Now, she has come with a passionate physical artist and creator who believes every day is an adventure. She has showcased her talents in various events and festivals around the world, including busking in the Middle East, at the White House, and aerial dancing off the exterior of this very venue, Hamer Hall. Please put your hands together and make incredibly welcoming, guilty feminist woohooing noises for Eliza Hull and Roya the Destroyer. Eliza, Hal, and Roya, the Destroya, everybody. So, Eliza, thank you so much for agreeing to come back on The Guilty Feminist and do this incredible performance. Can you tell us how you and Roya came to work together? Oh, you've got a mic.
Well, we have a mutual friend, but then Roya said she heard that song, Running Underwater, which I wrote about living with my own disability. I have a physical disability, and she started to use it street dancing in Melbourne and then sent me the video. And I was just like, you just embodied the song so beautifully. And we then made a video clip that's out now, and it's that song, Running Underwater, and it's just such a beautiful marriage, between that movement and the lyrics.
And it's a beautiful music video as well, but it's so wonderful to see it live. Roya, where can we see more of you?
Via my website, www.royathedestroya.com.
And is there anything that you'd like the audience to know about the work that you do, or any way they can support it?
Ooh, great question. You can support by following, liking on social media, attending events and shows, and anywhere else you know how. Spreading the word is the best way.
Wonderful. It was really fantastic. Eliza, how can we follow you, help you, buy your stuff? What can we do?
Online as well, but tonight I will be out there as well. I've got my children's book come over to my house, which is really exciting.
So we can buy your book tonight. So give them both a follow, share their work, enjoy their work, and where you can, support it financially. Eliza, Hal, and Roya, the Destroya, thank you very much. Thank you so much. See, wasn't that special? Absolutely. What a great way to kick off the show. So far, I think it's going really well. I'm obsessed. So far, you can never tell how it's going to go, but tonight, so far, it's going really well. So just give us a little cheer. Hold on, that sentence had an end. But I love the enthusiasm of feminism there. Just give us a little cheer. Yes. Give us a little cheer if you listen to The Guilty Feminist. Give us a cheer if you don't. If you don't know what you're at. Yes, okay. So, give us a cheer if you've been to The Guilty Feminist before, you've been live. Give us a cheer if this is your first time. Excellent. Okay, so if you don't know what you're at, we've got more people who listen and have been, I think, before. But if you don't know what you're at, it's a podcast. If you don't know what a podcast is, it's radio that nobody stops you making. Okay? That's why women do it so much. That is an avenue that is open to us because it's homemade. We make it out of Band-Aids and string, blue tack, plasticine. And it's really worked out. Like, I often think when I started this, if I'd gone to a radio station or a television network and said, I'd like to do a show with feminist in the title, they would have gone, no. But, we've now had nearly 200 million downloads. And Melbourne, again, because you're special, this is our 400th show. You are live here at our 400th birthday party. So I'm going to ask you who in the audience thinks they've got the most feminist job. And that could be a job you're paid for, it could be a volunteer role or some project you're working on. But who thinks they've got the most feminist job? Give us a cheer. Okay. A feminist job, the most feminist job. Who thinks the most feminist job in the room? The most feminist job. Just overall, if you've got a feminist job, give us a cheer. The most feminist job. You think you've got the most feminist job, and you're sitting in the front row. What's the most feminist job? A family violence counsellor. Wow. That's a very, very feminist role. And is there any way we can support you with that? Or is that something that's government funded, and if you take money from us, you're breaking the law? We can't help. Okay. So you're just being the most feminist person in the room, and she doesn't need our help. I think I need to give you the cape. To be clear, not permanently, just for 5 minutes. I need it for the show. Anybody else think they've got a really fabulous job? Yes? And there's Anita who's doing photos for us. Yes, Anita? You make model clitorises. It's got to be up there. Oh, are you not passing me a model clitoris? This is a moment, isn't it? None of us saw this coming. You seem like a plant now, Anita. Yes, I make model clitorises. Here's the clitoris. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, I've just dropped several of my clitorises. Or is it clitori? I've just dropped some of my clitori. Why do you make Why do you make clitorises? It's just so we can see how they feel or what they look like?
So I'm an occupational therapist. I work in disabilities.
Occupational therapist. Okay.
So I work with lots of folk with different disabilities that we would try and teach sex ed, and there wasn't anything that would actually able to help us to teach people sex ed about vulvar anatomy and pleasure.
There wasn't anything in the what at all?
There was puppets.
Puppets?
And
like Sesame Street?
And, yeah, cushions, but nothing which actually looked like
Cushions?
a vulva. Yeah.
So there were no vulva models in the world?
No, so, and we in Melbourne have the Professor Helen O'Connell, who discovered the clitoris in 1998.
Who discovered the clitoris in 1998?
I have the clitoris history.
I feel I discovered my clitoris before 1998. What?
I know, the clitoris wasn't mapped until 1998.
It wasn't mapped?
Yep.
Well, listen,
So
nobody's offered to do my cartography. Google Maps have not inquired.
So it wasn't mapped, and
No one mapped it.
No.
These fucking
They took it-
colonizer men who went round the world mapping out while stealing and killing everywhere didn't bother to map the fucking clitoris they were looking at between colonizing troops. Jesus Christ! They still haven't found the G-spot.
There's no such thing as the G-spot.
There's no such thing as the G-spot.
It's the clitoris.
They're turning. Self-believe there are.
It's the clitoris.
It's the sorry.
So the G-spot is the clitoris.
Pass the model forward. Pass the model forward.
And you can pull it apart like a Mr. Potato Head.
You can pull it past. You can pull it apart like a Mr. Potato Head.
And on the inside will show the clitoris and how it sits around the urethra and the vagina.
Interestingly, Mr. Potato Head is what I call
Oh, no,
my
so you need to
clitoris.
take the top... You need to take the whole top off. Yep.
You need to take the
Yep,
whole top off, everybody.
And this is an engorged clitoris. It's not erect because we don't want it to be the same as a penis. It's an engorged clitoris.
Oh, it's an engorged clitoris. So this is what I'm showing
So
you.
you need to take it out.
If you're in the
pink.
circle, can you see
can't
this?
see
This
it
is
yet.
an engorged clitoris. It is not erect.
If you need to, so you need to take the pink bit and put it on top of the pelvis.
Take the pink bit and put it on top of the pelvis.
I gave you some glow-in-the-dark clitorises up in the other one. So that's wrong. Sorry.
That's wrong. Some bisexual I've turned out to be. This is very exposing, isn't it? This is like this.
You need two hands, like always.
For a bisexual woman who has recently come out, this is a lot like that nightmare where you go into school naked and there's an exam no one's told you about. And you're going to be judged publicly by the whole school. Maybe I've had a nap this afternoon and I've not woken up for the show yet. That's possible. Okay.
That's
So
still
is it like that?
backwards.
That
That's
is
still
correct.
backwards. Turn it around.
Turn-
Turn around. No. Can I come up?
There's someone who looks a lot like my mum in the front row is going to do it for me. I'm not saying you're the same age as my mum. I'm saying you have a mumsy quality. I'm a feminist, but no, she does in a good way. I have a mumsy quality when needed. Mumsy quality is a great thing. Who doesn't? I think it's quite misogynist to not like a mumsy quality. Mothers make this world go round. A mum, thank you. I agree. Yeah, this.
It's fallen off.
Can you just say into the microphone what you just said, just so they can hear?
I said I'm mumsy and I know it.
I'm mumsy and I know it. Okay, I'm going to take this backstage and play with it.
That's the engorged clitoris, and there's a non-engorged clitoris, which is the purple one, which shows the difference between
engorged. There's a non-engorged clitoris, which is...
No, that's the urethra.
That's urethra. I did think it was smaller. I thought that's like silly pussy.
Sorry,
that really blows up.
The non-engorged clitoris is at the back in the separate...
Well, I feel like if it's in a separate box, that's not on me. Because mine's all in the same box. I think it's time, probably, to crack on with the nuts and bolts of the show. Big round of applause for Anita! Anita, where can we get this from? This is called Clitorit. Clitorit. Clearly I am ill-clitorit. You've got this is a clip pack. Do they just Google Clitorit? And they'll find you. And then just get in touch with Anita personally and say, Anita, I know nothing. And Anita will walk you through it with a series of plastic models that will blow your mind, and other areas.
Hello, Guilty Feminists. This is Deborah. I had the most amazing time in Australia and New Zealand, Aotearoa, touring all your wonderful cities. Thank you to everyone who came out and supported the show. It meant the world, and the shows were so wonderful, buzzing and successful. I appreciate you all so much. Audience, guests, poets, singers, everybody. Now, we have some more live shows coming up in the UK. Our second ever Waterstones Book Club event is on Wednesday, the 3rd of July, with author Laura Elkin. Jess Foster-Q and I will be talking about Laura's book Scaffolding with her. It's a feminist book about ghosts, homes and the cycle of history. Now, we are contrasting each and every one of these with a feminist classic because we want to be reading the books we should have read and finding a fun and interesting way to do that. So we'll be contrasting Lauren's book with feminist classic Inseparables by Simone de Beauvoir. If you're going to read the Simone de Beauvoir, get the translation that Lauren Elkin herself did. And she obviously knows that book inside out, having translated it and done a preface for it. So hopefully you'll be able to read both of those books before you come. But it doesn't matter if you haven't read them. We'll do it in a way that we'll deep dive, but it won't matter about spoilers. Come. But get your tickets now because the last one sold out well before doors opened. Our show at King's Place is on Monday the 15th of July, and it features previews of some of our favourite comedians before they head off to the Edinburgh Fringe. Join us to hear exclusive sets from Jessica Regan, Alison Spittle, Kate Checker, Zoe Brownstone and Sarah Barron. If you are going to the Edinburgh Fringe, what a great place to see some tasters, to see some shows that you might like. If you're not going, this is your chance to see the Edinburgh Fringe in one night. We will also be at the Edinburgh Fringe from the 12th to the 14th of August at the Gilded Balloon with an amazing array of co-hosts, guests and music. And if you're listening to this on Monday the 17th of June, you might just be in time to get tickets for Global Pillage, hosted by Abigail Shimon, with a lineup which includes me, Athena Kablenu, Max Aleska, Beck Hill, Lola Jagan and others. For more information and to book for any of these shows, go to guiltyfeminist.com and click on Live Shows. Also, please don't forget to rate, review and subscribe. It helps other people find the podcast. Give us 5 stars and you could review any episode or any live show. Join Patreon, tell a friend with your face, anyone you think might like the show. And now back to the podcast.
All right, are we ready to start the nuts and bolts of the Guilty Feminist podcast live in Melbourne? Episode 400. Then please welcome to the stage my co-pilot for this evening. It's the wonderful Celia Pacquola.
Wow. Hello. I mean, I know we've got many things to discuss, but I kind of want to keep talking to the clistorian over here. You can have that?
Yes, though.
I know. It's outrageous. Also, who would have thought? Vulva models? I quite like that as a job. What do you do, Celia? I'm a vulva model.
Well, presumably... Well, who do you model it off, Anita, actually? What a great point. An international
glitterati. Oh,
of course. I don't
it's
know
a gift
why.
that keeps on giving. But I mean, it's no shame on you for not knowing that because we weren't taught this. This is what you're doing, Anita. That's the thing. We don't know.
I know mine by feel.
Oh,
actually, probably what I should do is go... This is... Because actually, people go, oh, well, women, and in my experience, women are... My limited experience, I should say, but I've checked in with other people who sleep with women as well as men, and possibly non-binary people as well. And I should just say, people who sleep with people are the luckiest people in the world. And I feel, to quote Barbara Streisand, I'm obsessed with her.
A person is just a people you haven't met yet.
That's... or a clitoris you haven't met.
Anyway, yes, you've checked in with people,
and it's more than a trend that women overall, as a trend. Obviously, not every woman is a great lover. Obviously, not every man is a terrible lover. I don't mean it like that, but there is a skill set that women seem to have. Women and other people with clitorises seem to have that's incredible. But when I got out on the open road, I'd never experienced anything like it. But
I'm so confused.
If you've only slept with people with penises...
Yes, that's me.
Yeah. When you sleep with a woman... Yeah. And...
you're like, wow, they're expert level.
I have experienced a skill level that, like, nothing else. It's like it's just streets ahead. You just go, wow, I didn't know it would do that.
I suspected as much. I'm devastated. I wish
It's
I know.
quite amazing. Now, obviously, I haven't had that much experience, so I'm sure, like, it's a small sample size. I don't know, but I have heard this from other people. Now, I did not feel, oh well, I've got a clitoris, therefore I know what to do with everyone else's.
Yeah.
I heard Kat Cohen, the comedian, the other day say that. For her, she thought, well, I should know, but it just ended up being like putting mascara on someone else. And that's how I felt.
I know, you can do it to yourself in the car, but... someone else, it's bizarre.
It's like, unless you're a trained makeup artist, you're just like, oh, I'm going to stick it in
and
their
that's
eye.
what Anita is doing. You are training. This is wonderful.
And do you know, I didn't know, because I'm not a porn person, I didn't know, do you know not all vulvas are the same?
I do know that because I've been to Tasmania. I will explain.
I think you should.
This is a euphemism. It's perfectly harmless. There is a museum, Mona, the Museum of Modern... no, I'm going to get it wrong, but Mona, big museum, and they have a exhibition which is... plaster cast, a wall of vulvas, which is... there's like 80 of them on a wall of all different people who have vulvas. So you can walk along and you see all the differences. And Luke McGregor, a very good friend of mine, used to have stand-up about it whenever he was down there. He was like, whenever I'd go there, I'd feel really uncomfortable because I wasn't sure how long is appropriate to stand in front of the wall of vulvas, because you don't want it to be not enough time because you want to have respect, but too long is like, that guy has been standing in front of that vulva for 45 minutes. And I'm going to call security.
Yeah, I do see that.
But you should go. You haven't been to Mona?
No, I've never been to Tasmania.
What?
All right, don't try to against me, Australia.
There's feminists in Tasmania.
No, I asked...
Well, no, they're here, actually, no.
I asked this time. I said, could we please go to Hobart? And they couldn't make it work, something with venues, and, but they promised me next time. So if you're listening and you're in Hobart, although you've never once emailed or tweeted to say, come here... we will be going to you whether you like it or not. I've never had one email or tweet going, aren't you coming to Hobart? And that doesn't... You did? Oh, I'm so sorry. I missed it. You were the one. Did you come specially here? Oh!
That's very impressive. That's very impressive.
And interestingly, Hobart
I think you should get a clitoris. They get a model clitoris. You got a spare, Anita? Do you? What's your name? Ash, you came from Tasmania. Would you like... There you go.
Yeah.
Just flinging clitorises around.
Would you like to wear the cape for 5 minutes? Because you've come this way, you can have a photo in the cape and that would make me feel better. Can you pass this back to Ash? Oh, no, Ash is coming down. Okay.
Ash.
Thank you.
Also,
Thank you.
Anita, I don't
Take
know
a
if you know
picture
or
and-
if you're
and then-
involved in this, Judith Lucy has a necklace that's a clitoris. Was that you? Were you involved in the making of that or you know about that? Yeah.
Is that a rogue clitoris that's nothing to do with the clitoris?
Uh-oh, you got competition. Look out.
I get given a lot of tote bags with clitorises and cervix and stuff stitched on them, cross-stitched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a bit of an I'm a feminist, but cross-stitching.
Yes.
You know, it isn't, but it is. You know what I mean. In a sweet and gentle way, no judgment. You're saying no. You're saying it's not because. And what's your name? Never mind.
Never mind.
The feminist who I said had a mumsy energy is telling me it is not unfeminist to do cross-stitch. But interesting, you won't tell me. Can I just give you a name? Louise. Okay, I'll give you the name Louise because that's clearly your name. Louise is now going to be the judge of what's feminist and what's not, and what's mumsy and what's not.
Okay.
Come to you in the evening. Now, all right. Would you like to see some stand-up comedy? Yeah. Then please welcome to the mic the incredible Celia Pacquola.
Hello. This is going to be a nice time, given what we've discussed. I did not plan this, but this is where we're going now. Hello, I am aging comedian and fun mum Celia Pacquola. Hi. I'm quite a recent fun mum. I have a 18-month-old toddler who still lives at home. And I've got 6 minutes to tell you jokes, and I think I'm going to go straight to the birth story. And I feel like you're going to be fine with that. Fuck it. We're going straight to the birth story. Because last time I was here when I was super pregnant, and now I'm not. And she came out. And this is that story. Look, a lot of different ways to get pregnant, a lot of different ways to give birth. My birth was fairly straightforward. Out the front door, pushed her out the front door. I would describe the birth as fairly chill with a spicy finish. Okay? Happened epidural, pushed her out the front door. She gave me a cheeky second-degree tear on the way out. Okay? Got a second-degree tear in my vagina. I don't mind it. I actually quite like having a second-degree tear in my vagina because it makes my vagina sound really smart, you know? Yeah. It's got 2 degrees. Didn't even study. And I've been doing this material for a while now, and usually in rooms when I do that material, I'll be honest with you, often men who go, you didn't have to, you didn't have to say that bit, you could have just moved on past that bit. Really? I'm pretty sure if your dick tore in half, you'd have something to say about it. You know? I'm pretty sure if your penis started banana peeling, you'd be like, all right, I got some opinions, I need a meeting, I need a support group, I need a cup of tea and a hug. And I know that's very binary of me. I think anyone with any genitals, if they tear in any way, you should be able to talk about it as much as you want. I also think that if that happened to you, you would be expecting more attention for that injury than what actually happens, which is you are sent home with some Panadol and an ice pack for your underpants. That's what you get. They go, see you later. Here's a frosty fruit for your knickers. Good luck. See you in 6 weeks. And I don't want to scare anyone who hasn't been through this. It heals fine. They give you stitches. It heals fine. Kinda. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I don't know. I made my partner look at it after it had healed. Of course I did. I made him look at it after it healed, and this was his response, all right? He went, oh. That's good. That's a positive noise. I'm happy with, oh. He wasn't finished. He went, oh, there's a new bit. What are you talking about? There's a new bit? Do they attach handlebars or something? I don't understand. A new bit. Also, what are they doing? Don't be getting creative. I want factory settings, all right? Original blueprints. What are you doing? So I have a new bit. I've never looked at it. I don't know. Many ways to give birth, many ways to get pregnant. How's this? When I was pregnant, my partner had a friend who had what's called an assisted caesarean. So everyone knows your caesarean, which is when the baby comes out the top like that, right? An assisted caesarean, he goes, which is where the woman takes the baby out herself, right? He goes, yeah, my friend did it. I've got a video. Do you want to see it? And I went, put your phone in the ocean. No, I'm sure that is a beautiful choice for them and their family. Do I want to see that? Ugh, absolutely not. Yuck. And I was pregnant at the time. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that, no way. And then the next week we had a meeting with our obstetrician, who's the guy whose job it is to deliver my baby, all right? And I was telling him, you're not going to believe it. I found out about this thing. It's called a assisted cesarean, where the woman takes the baby out herself. Can you believe it? And he goes, I know. I'm the person who worked on that technique in Australia. And I said, you lazy fuck. Excuse me? I'm pretty sure you've got the one job, right, which is to deliver the baby. And you've gone, yeah, I reckon the woman can do that. Yeah. Let's make this more like a self-service checkout type deal. So my baby was born. Put the baby on the chest, beautiful thing. My partner's a photographer, takes a lot of lovely photos. He's never in any of them. So when the baby's on the chest, nurse went, do you want us to take a photo for you? And we went, of course, yes, please. Took the photo for us, first family photo, beautiful. It's exactly the photo that you're thinking of. I'm like crying and sweaty but elated, beautiful baby, beautiful moment, beautiful photo, framed in a way that also included a clear view of my genitals being stitched. Yeah, like a real clear view. Like they were planning on using it for educational purposes later on. Just blown up in a classroom, be like, all right, everybody, as you can see here, this is where we're going to put the new bit. I feel like that's probably do it. I've got so much more. I've got a full hour. This is my new show that hopefully I will film and bring to you one day, but I feel like that's enough for right now because we've got so much to talk about. Thank you so much for having me.
Celia Pacquola, everybody! That was amazing. All right. That was amazing. She never fails, does she? Every single time, Celia's stand-up is of the highest possible quality, and I don't understand how she does the joke ratio with the setups and punch. I think she's honestly one of the best stand-ups in the world. But now she's looking at me like, don't say that while I'm on the stage. Wait till I get into the wings. Our next guest is a Wiradjuri poet whose work appears in Australian and international journals and anthologies. In 2023, she was the inaugural winner of the University of Cambridge First Nations Writer-in-Residence scholarships and won several fellowships and international residencies. Her poetry appeared in the Best of Australian Poems 2022 and 2023, and she was recognised in numerous poetry prizes. Her first full-length collection of poetry, Not Telling, will be out this year with Puncher and Watman. Please welcome to the stage, Alison J. Barton!
Hi, thank you, Deborah. I'm going to read 4 poems, and the first is called Missing Time. I go in not wanting to see secret things, head swimming, heart bellowing, shallow chest. I say, have things gotten worse? I've got a lie to tell you. Like girls, we tried it together, left it in the light, asked questions with no cover, quoted years from the 90s. Were set a standard we couldn't possibly maintain. When I became a woman, I had nothing to hide. Even as we convinced ourselves we didn't mind the long-term effects. We didn't know what they were. My dreams have been taking me back to missing time. My eyes stitch themselves shut, lash to lash. Tincture. We are half lovers, a tincture with regrets. Shadows approach and I realise it is time to go, but we stay to see what it looks like from the other side. I extricate myself because I like the process of stitching back together. Tidal journey after tidal journey. I cover the desk in artefacts, push aside again what is essential but revulsive, the writing of sweeping sympathies. I don't need it, but I like to long for it. A concise, clear list of hard facts is the last thing I am taking from you. The rhyme of fear coming from your mouth. I can't wait for fantasies to come true. A killing. This monstrous mounting spectre ekes water from its body, clenches memories like fists, and remembers gunshots in the hollows of artificial landscapes. Denied like birds from colonial skies, traversing water where barrels smoked and boots imprinted scrub on land that could kill, the history of rock holding us. A pale voice is muted behind jade gums, palms of broken tree bark hands, surrender to this frontier, to the universality of time. Taper. Forgotten, but remembered thin as cicada wings, lodged injuriously in minds, somewhere beneath sugar nationhood and settlement mateship, is flour and tea slaughter, dispossession. It rises pernicious in skin, muscles, claws into the body politic. A robbery you live with, so do I, kept pushed down, buried down, 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 bolt shut for the life of you. The life of me imprisoned, dragged in dirt, head open, locked cuffs, hands chained, legs jagged, children ripped from screaming arms, tapered to silence, weighted between the sound and the denial. Thank you.
Alison J. Barton, everybody! I found Alison's poetry on Instagram, actually, and I became a big fan of her work, and I asked her to come, and she actually has come to do the shows in Sydney and Melbourne, which I feel very honoured by. Alison,
yes.
Where can we buy your book and when?
It's coming out in August, and you'll be able to buy it on my website, which is alisonjbarton.com, or you can check out my Instagram with the same name.
And you'll be able to buy it in good bookshops as well?
I do hope so, yes.
Good, okay. And can I just say, could you put your money where your applause is? Because I don't know if you heard this, but it's been harder for poets to make a living since the Renaissance ended. And
it has.
It has, hasn't it?
I'm
Because there was a
living
big time then, because there would be patrons who'd go, write me a poem about how beautiful my wife is or something, and then that's all gone
That
now.
never happens to me.
So if you would like to commission a poet about how beautiful someone is or how wonderful something is, obviously give Alison a call. But another great way to support her is to buy her book. And it's called Not Telling. It's out in August. Easiest thing to do is go to her website, but also this is a great thing to do, ask your local bookshop. Have you got Alison J. Barton's Not Telling?
Yes, do that.
Yeah, ask them if they'll stock it, because if everyone in this room seriously dropped their local bookshop an email, or next time you popped in, you asked them would they get it, there'd be this huge demand. And then journalists would start going, oh, what's this? Everyone's talking about it. So we could make that happen collectively. And we just think, oh, just post it. But actually, Instagram's algorithm, I do post it as well, but Instagram's algorithms are quite, I don't know how you put this, fucked. And now, to be honest, Alison, mostly what I see now is I get these really weird, no one I follow, I get things about, mostly about young American Christians who are trying to stay celibate. And trad wives. I think they're trying to wind me up, but I'm not falling for it. I'm not sharing it or anything. I'm just like, But if you could tell people, create a local demand. If you've got a book club, say, oh, it'd be great if we could all have a look at this. I think it would make a good birthday present for everyone you've ever met.
I agree, funnily enough.
Alison agrees, so you've got both of us there. That's pretty... Do you agree, Celia?
Also, but algorithms, mine's like, you look like someone who wants to glue shit to kids.
That's right. Not you were like incredible Aboriginal poetry, but you...
But I incredibly agree, particularly with going into the bookshops and doing that. I think that's a really great way forward.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
And you feel really smart and cool as well. Because if they have it, you'll be like, I'm so cool. And if you're not, like, oh, you should get it.
Yeah.
You don't? Do that. Pull it best of all my high school years of going to a girls' school. I'll get my practice in. Oh, really? You don't have it? Oh.
Ask for it this week. Tell them it's coming out in August and say, please stock it. I'll buy a copy, and I've got mates that want it, and share it that way. We are still a feminist army if we behave like one. Put your hands together, make incredible warring noises for Alison J.
Thank you so much.
Also, can I recommend starting a coven in the interval? It's the interval soon, not yet. We have one more act. But soon it's an interval. And you'll see people you know here. That always happens at the Guilty Feminist. People, oh, right, yeah. Right, you've already point to someone you know but didn't come with. Yep, most people are pointing at somebody. So find someone, or just start chatting to someone in the queue, or they're here, or they're there, or going to get a drink, and they've probably got a project you can get involved in, or you've something, or if you think, well, I don't have anything, just start a feminist book club. There's local people here, there's also people from Hobart. You never know your luck in the big city. Speaking of which, can I have my cape back, please? Thank you. Thank you, Tasmania. Thank you so much. Does anyone need any help with anything that they could use feminists for? Yes, what's yours? Oh, Amnesty International is outside. So if you could sign up, take stuff. They're really fighting for human rights. And I don't know if you've heard, but human rights have been taking a slight beating lately. So if you could go to the Amnesty counter, just get a leaflet, sign up, do whatever it is. It's such a great way of staying in touch with people, because it's so hard to keep up with everything, and actually sometimes endless scrolling really depresses you. I think, sometimes you're like, oh, awareness. Awareness without action creates depression. What's the point of me knowing another terrible thing has happened if I can't help? And Amnesty gives you a quick action that you can do, that you can write to your MP, or you can connect in some way, or you can write to someone who's a political prisoner. So everyone tonight who possibly can should sign up for Amnesty if you're not already signed up. And now, to close our first half, I dare not travel without her anymore, because it wouldn't be the Guilty Feminist Australia and Aotearoa tour without her. People would throw things, shout, and leave, slamming the door, saying it's just not good enough. So put your hands together and make incredible woohooing noises for Leicester legend herself. It's Grace Petrie!
Hello! It's wonderful to be back in Melbourne. Since I was last here, I got engaged. Thank you very much. I'm getting married in a couple of months. I thought I've thought that I've been in love many times, but I know that I'm really in love this time. And the way that I know that is because I'm extremely anxious. All the time. It's a relief to be in a stable relationship. I've written many songs about breakups, like Taylor Swift, and I'm going to sing you one now. So a few years ago, I had just been dumped by somebody, and I was in that phase of post-breakup where I really hadn't seen it coming, and I was in that phase where I was sort of trying to work out what had gone wrong, and I was sort of thinking about it loads. With my friends and like talking about it loads with my friends and sort of analysing it loads with my friends. And it took me a really long time to realise that my friends didn't find this as interesting as I did. And whenever I tell that story on stage, there's always someone in the audience who is here with a friend. Who is in that phase now. So if you're recently dumped and your friend is going, huh? Just, think on it. But it's okay. If you're in that position, I have the advice for you, right? So immediately after this breakup, I was watching quite a lot of Frozen. Because I have two little nieces, it's not just how I deal with pain. And hidden within the feminist text of Frozen, I found the wisdom that I needed to move on from this relationship, and I wrote this song. It's called Princess Elsa Blues. Because it's... Well, last night in the pub, I realised I was being tolerated, not enjoyed. I saw it there reflected in friends' eyes, that I've become the kind of person I avoid. Well, I woke up feeling rough and wondering when my needle got stuck on a groove called you. And as I reached for Alka-Seltzer, the wisdom of Elsa came to me, and now I know what I must do. Because living without you, I've gotten pretty good. Just need to stop talking about you like my friends all wish I would. And I don't understand what happened, but I guess I'll never know. I don't need to go to a palace made of snow. I just need to let it go. Now epiphanies can come from anywhere, from the sunrise or the verses of Shakespeare. But it wasn't Sylvia Plath or Nietzsche turned out to be my teacher. It was Disney had the words I had to hear. Because living without you, I've gotten pretty good. Just need to stop talking about you like my friends all wish I would. And I don't understand what happened, but I guess I'll never know. I don't need to go to a palace made of snow. I just need to let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door on all those times I just wouldn't be told. And now I finally broke out this chokehold. And all the times you were cold never bothered me anyway. Because living without you, I've gotten pretty good. Just need to stop talking about you like my friends all wish I would. And I don't understand what happened, but I guess I'll never know. I don't need to go to a palace made of snow. I just need to let it go. I just need to let it go. I just need to let it go. Thank you.
Grace Petrie, everybody! After the interval, we'll be back right here with Magda Sabatsky and more Grace. See you then!
So that was the first half. Join us for part 2, which should be in your feed right now.